This is kind of a demonstration on how I've been using the OVR jump. And this thing is awesome. I love it. I've used it for several sessions now and have not had a single bit of problem with it. Any problems I've had, just generally speaking, is user error. And what you have are the two components, the receiver and the transmitter. The distance between the transmitter and the receiver is about 45 inches. And what I have is a tape measure out here. And generally speaking, what I do in my situation is I have this receiver just sitting here always on the floor with the transmitter sitting on top. It just has storage because it works great with my rug I have in my home gym. And what I do is I go ahead and turn on the receiver and it boots up. And the battery life is great. I haven't had to recharge this at all. Red means that it's not receiving anything. And what I do is I take the transmitter and I put it about 43 inches away. And I turn this on. And what I look for, I'm going to try to show you what happens is I am going to be moving this, but I'm going to be showing you the receiver. And when it turns green, it means it's receiving the correct laser from the transmitter. And of course it's not doing it. Hello. Oh, I had to turn it off, so my bad. Beta testing. Okay. There it goes. And so now what I had to do was just basically move it left to right. The distance was correct. It'll seem to operate anywhere between 38 inches and at least 45. In fact, we'll test this. I'm going to be moving the transmitter the maximum distance. And as you can see, hopefully, that it's green light, meaning it's receiving the laser from the transmitter. And I'm going to be moving this guy backwards. It's already at about 42 inches. And hopefully you can see the red light, the green light turn red. So we're going to move it back, move it back. Oh my goodness, that's far. Wow, that's 47 inches. That's a large window to jump. Wow, that's way larger than I thought. 51, that's crazy. Keep in mind that the lateral distance, the width, is not that large. And so it tapers off down the further you go, if that makes sense. So the closer you get, the more jump area you have. The deeper the jump area you have. So just out of curiosity, out of giggles, just to see how far this goes. Good Lord, that's huge. But also keep in mind, if you triangulated the distance between here and the receiver, it's a pretty narrow band. And actually, I'll demonstrate that. Let's see how this works. Yeah, so I'm showing you the red light, and that means I've tripped. Let's demonstrate this too well with the gimbal. I've tripped the beam, meaning I'm ready to jump. Red means you're ready to jump because you've broken the beam. Yeah, so what I'm going to show you next is the app. It works great. What I like about this device is you don't have to use the app. If you have privacy concerns, you can use the device without an app at all, and just work off of the display. And right now it's reading 18.6 because it's just an erroneous reading because I've been tripping the laser beam in and out, but otherwise it works great. Or you can use the app in sandbox mode, which, oh, there it is actually. In sandbox mode, which is right up here. And that will basically turn off the data and it won't transmit any of that. And so you can get the cool interface on your phone, but not have the data shared with their server. But what's cool about this is how it works. So I'm just going to do a vertical jump test. It's saying it's not connected because it is not connected. And I'm going to connect. And now it's ready to go. Go vertical jump, do a regular vertical jump. And right now it's ready to go. And that zeroed out, that cleared out. And it's ready for me to jump. And I will show you what it's like to do a jump session on it. And first thing, before I do that though, I'll show something. When I'll do two different versions. I'll do the version off with a camera, and I'll show you what it looks like using the app camera. Video quality is not great, even though it's using your phone's camera. It's not as pretty if you use the filters of the normal iPhone camera. But what my point here is green means the beam's not being broken from the transmitter. And I'm just going to use my hand as a demonstration as what your feet would be doing. So it's ready to go as soon as it turns red, meaning, so now the next time you unbreak the beam, meaning you jump, it will give you a reading of your jump height, or that's what I'm looking for here, jump height. Or if you wanted the reactive strength index or ground contact time. So just at a demonstration, I'm just going to show you like jump up, and I jumped 12.9 inches in theory if I moved that quickly. Just do one more time. Ooh, only 7 inches. Interesting. You get the point. So I'll show you the video of what it looks like, me actually jumping. 24.4. $24.0. 23.2. So that's basically it in a nutshell. The app is great. One thing about using the app as far as the camera is concerned, obviously you press the red button on the bottom to record, and it does give you this prompt, but it's not as quick as you would hope it would be. When you want to stop the video, there's not a stop button on the screen. It tells you before you start this process, but who reads instructions, you have to put your finger on the screen basically to tell it to stop and to stop recording. And then what it does is it uploads the video up to their server. That's why it does basically the scrolling wheel. But the other sticking point is, and I understand this is a good thing, is that it doesn't automatically save it to your photos. So you have to go into the top right and click that button, and that asks you if you want to save it to your photos or share it to social media or whatever you want to do. And that's good because it avoids some icky feelings of people thinking that the app or OVR is taking control of your phone. So everything has to be manually done as far as saving. And that said, first couple times I lost the video only because I assumed it saved it, and I didn't want to keep on saving multiple copies of the same one. But it does not. You have to specifically say save to photos, which is a good thing. But other than that, it works great. I'm going to continue to test this. I've been using it on all the different modes, mainly RSI and vertical jump measurements. What I love about it is the repeatability, the accuracy. When you do maximal efforts, like a vertical leap test, you only have so many matches to burn. And if you're using a device that's inaccurate or flubs and misses a jump and it's like, that was the time I got my PR, that sucks. This has been rock solid. And anytime anything's gone wrong, it's because I screwed up. And and there aren't too many things to screw up on this. And I think I've pretty much figured out all the ins and outs and little quirks of the system. And it's really not that quirky. And they're not paying me to say this. I just think it's an incredible product. And as I was telling one of my followers on Facebook, the problem is, and OVR, don't do this. Don't raise the price. But I think the problem is that people see the price of this and think that there's got to be like massive compromises because jump mats are ridiculously expensive to the point where there's no way. I mean, I entertained the idea for a split second, and there's just no way to justify it. But what this does, it's priced like a toy relative to what a jump mat costs. So you're thinking, oh, there's no way it can have any of that kind of functionality, but it's a better product. And so there's like this catch 22 is that people think, oh, it's got to be a piece of crap because it's so cheap. That's not the case. This thing works great until someone can tell me otherwise. Like, oh no, well, you're not jumping that high. But you see in the video, when if you were to do a digital ruler on it, the readings are very consistent relative to the jump height. Let's just say I'm not jumping 24 inches. Let's say I'm jumping 12. That said, the measurement delta between those is relatively accurate if you catch what I'm saying, and that's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for repeatability. I'm looking for readings that are consistent, and that's what I'm getting. I will jump. It's like, oh yeah, that felt like a 22.5 jump, or like, oh no, that felt like really high. And then you look in the video, and I'm like, yeah, you can see my heels, how high they are relative to the lines on the garage door. As long as I don't move forward or backward relative to the camera distance, and so that's what you want, right? For $299 versus thousands of dollars, like, that's pretty awesome. But that said, I think it's freaking accurate, like to the 10th. And like I said, like I'm curious to see if anyone else has compared this relative to an actual jump mat, like from Hawkins or some other of the higher end ones. I mean, again, with the price difference, it's a incredibly compelling product. I hope they sell a ton of these things. And if you're watching this, it's the real deal. And don't let the price fool you. And like I said, OVR, do not change the price on this because it is awesome, man. It is awesome. And to that, I asked my buddy BJ Olson, who I didn't realize he was testing it until I asked him. I saw him in a video using it in a video. And right about the time this was launched, the pre-order was launched. And by the way, they ship this thing fast. And then I just asked, hey, how do you like it? It's like he got to beta test it. He said it's great. And I trust BJ, and that's all he needed to know, especially for the money. And yeah, it's a good deal. Thanks for watching.